welcome. Here we are, training camp. Things go up and down. All right, have at it. What y'all got?
Coach, with Tyler Warren, he was utilized in a very unique way at Penn State. How do you balance, opening up the playbook for him and getting him to buy into your scheme?
Yeah, it's as we evaluate how to use any young player, we're going to let them play to their strengths. And he's so versatile. He does so many things so well, but you also want to be careful not to throw too much on a rookie. He's doing a great job of handling what we're asking right now. And this time of training camp, we sort of put in the whole offense. So it is a lot mentally for guys to work through, making sure they know all the details of their job. And when you move around the multiple roles, multiple spots within every play, really in a highly detailed manner. So it's something we're being really conscious of. But at the same time, he's a young man that can do a lot of things well, and we're gonna let him try some of those things and see what can help us for the season. So as we're going through camp, we're mixing him in and out of different roles, different spots, different assignments, and seeing how he handles it. And he's been doing a great job.
Has Anthony Gould taken a step as a receiver?
Absolutely. He put in a really good offseason of work, and it's showing here at camp. He's flying around out there. He's making plays. The ball gets spread around in training camp sometimes because you utilize the entire installation of the offense, and we put a bunch of plays in. The quarterbacks are working their progressions, and Anthony's done such a nice job of when his number's called or when he's on that sort of first read or second read, he's showing up for the quarterback. He's doing everything he can to win those matchups. And like I said, he's playing really good ball right now. We got a lot of training camp to go. We all got to keep pushing to get better. But yeah, he's absolutely gotten better. He's doing a great job.
What do you see in terms of decision making in the red zone today and highs, lows, etc.?
Yeah, red zone, sort of drop back passing practice is always a little bit of a high leverage situation for a quarterback. You drop back 12 straight times in 7-on-7. The defense sort of squeezes those zones. The man coverage is tighter. We're trying new plays. We want to be really good at all that stuff. At the same time, these guys are working different progressions and where they can throw certain balls. So we want to go through a practice and be really clean, but at the same time, you don't want those guys to avoid sort of working on trying to throw or working on trying to hit a certain receiver in a certain spot, maybe a back shoulder type of throw. So red zone practices, when you sort them up at the end of the year, they don't always end up being your highest production practices, but we do get a lot out of them. It's going to make us better moving forward. There's going to be some things we can coach off of today's tape, but it was an encouraging day because we're working a lot of things that I think we got better at.
Jim, it's an observation that maybe AD had a slow first week, but he's really come on, Mitchell.
Yeah,
what did you think?
He's done a really nice job making plays. This past week, he's had a bunch of opportunities. Like all these receivers, sometimes you get a few more, you get a few less each week. AD's number's been called a few times, and the quarterbacks have looked his way a few extra times, and he's taking advantage of those things. We had a little backed up situation today, and quarterback looked out there and saw AD Mitchell one-on-one. I'm going to throw it to AD. He's going to get us out of this backed up situation, and he was there for the quarterback. He was open. So as a receiver, it's our job, it's your job. Everything you can do to get open every play, make every catch you can. Keep improving as a player. He's doing that. Things come and go in waves in training camp for guys. But AD's really had a really nice week. And like I said about Anthony, we got a lot of work left to do in camp. We got to keep pushing to get better. But we're encouraged by AD's work that he's had this week.
What have you seen from DJ Giddens?
DJ's done a really nice job. He's a young guy who's been put in some different roles maybe than he was in college. Just in the NFL, gosh, you're running the ball, but maybe you're running it from different sides and behind the quarterback. You're running these routes that maybe you never ran in college. You're working different blitz pickup schemes. Oftentimes a young running back has a lot on his plate learning that. It is a little bit different than college. DJ's done a really nice job of picking up the offense, picking up his role, and then going out and executing it. And a couple times, obviously, we're not always fully tackling in practice, so as a back, you're not fully getting tackled. But oftentimes, he has had a knack in this camp of sort of finding that crease, reading that defense the right way, and sort of working with his offensive line to create yards. So we're real encouraged with DJ. I'm excited to sort of watch him continue trying different roles and different routes and different run schemes within this offense, seeing exactly what he's comfortable with and where he goes from here.
Coach, how's it been? AD have some huge flashes in practice, even last year in camp. How do you get him to do it on Sunday, so consistently on Sunday, right? That's the next step.
Yeah, consistency is so huge for our whole offense, and for any young player. You know, AD fits into the young player mold. You want to be consistent day after day, week after week. You know, those guys, those receivers, they love when they get the opportunity to make those big plays, and for AD to have those opportunities, you know, he's so excited to go make them. Sometimes it's easier for a receiver when you get 10 or 12 targets in a game than 2 or 3, because you try so hard when you get those 2 or 3, and sometimes you just got to sort of play one play at a time, play after play after play. Young players always seem to learn that lesson. I think as our entire offense plays with a little more consistency, that's going to help. That's going to help everybody play with consistency. So I think it's going to come for him. He's a young, talented player. The upside's real high. I'm excited about his future. I'm excited to see sort of what he does with the rest of the camp and where that leads into the season for him.
Coach,
Time for a couple more.
Coach, going up against Louis Anarumo in his first year as a Colts defensive coordinator in this new look secondary, how has it been for you guys making that adjustment from what you guys have faced in the past?
Yeah, it's been a different offseason. It's been a different camp. You know, a lot of different fronts, a lot of different coverages, a little more tight man coverage, a little more some different pressure packages that we're working to pick up. You know, Lou's done such a nice job over the years of really giving offenses fits in the NFL, and you know, we're seeing that full defensive install right now. We're having to get ready sort of for a brand new collection of problems that he causes every day when he installs stuff. So we're out there working on our stuff. He's working on his stuff, and you know, he's allowing different guys to work different things, whether it's maybe a center who's seeing different fronts or a receiver who's getting a little more tight coverage. All that stuff's really, really good for us. So it's been a different camp for our offensive guys and our offensive coaches, sort of attacking that scheme or trying to, you know, sort of figure out the nuances of that scheme, which I think is going to be really good for us as we get to the season. I'm excited about it.
With a few days,
Last question here.
with a few days under the belt so far with pads on, how are you feeling about the tight end group so far?
Yeah, I feel good about that group. The pads, it's always so fun when we put the pads on. I think we've had such a good week of work, sort of since I saw you all last. The tight end group's doing a great job. You know, Tyler Warren's coming in here. We just talked about he's doing a bunch of different versatile roles. We're putting him in a bunch of different spots. And then, you know, you got Mo Alley-Cox, you got Tree, you got Mallory's really doing a nice job. Those guys are doing a great job sort of in the blocking game. A lot of times we cover the passes. We talk about the great catch that Mallory made. Tree had a great catch today. Mo's had a bunch. You know, those guys make great plays in the passing game. Obviously, Tyler's kind of had the big fun video clip catch of the day the other day. Those guys have all made plays in the passing game, but they're doing a really nice job of blocking. At the tight end position, you got to do both. Those guys are a big part of our offense. For our offense to get where we need to go, you know, that tight end room's really gonna help us, I think. But the working pads has been great. It's as close to real football as we're going to get till we turn the lights on and play a real game. So we're excited to continue that work and keep them coming. So appreciate y'all coming out today.
Thanks for